I always say, and I always joke with my friends about how interesting it is that we kind of have this whole dating thing a little backwards. I might have said this on the podcast too. We have this dating thing kind of backwards, where it's like we do all this crazy intimate physical things like as soon as we meet a person, and then we backtrack and find out who this human being is. Like,
Right.
why do I know what your butthole looks like before I know your favorite color? You know?
Oh my God.
Like, why do I know what your ass
Yeah.
looks like before your favorite color? That's crazy to me.
That's a pretty jarring comparison,
but
right? But it's true.
But it's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. And how many times you find yourself in those situations? Like, yeah, like what is your favorite color? Like, what do you like to eat? Like, what's your favorite food?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Where were you raised? Like, all this stuff. Like,
Yeah,
we're over
where
here,
did you grow up?
We know nothing about these people, but
Right.
we're exposing ourselves to them.
So intimately.
And I think that is the catalyst that starts it all.
Yeah.
Because if you go the way that we explain, the path that we took, there's
Yeah.
no way you'll end up in a situationship.
Yeah.
You're not devoted to this person in any real way. There's no reason to feel that strongly, and you have complete control over the things that we claim to be so simple.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if the basic idea is to want somebody that wants you, and you're going about it in a very calm and collected, very sophisticated sort of way, not giving too much of yourself before a person is reciprocating that energy, how are you going to find yourself overly attached to a person that doesn't want you?
Right.
Kind of impossible, kind of hard, kind of unnecessary. So you can go ahead.
I think that's the first time that's ever happened to
Yeah,
us on the
actually,
pod.
right.
I think that was the first time both of us started speaking. I was like, no, you.
No, it's all you.
Oh, wow. Wow. I think that's funny, kind of going off the heels of our dating apps episode, literally like a couple weeks ago, that situationships is kind of like it makes sense. It's bred out of this culture of like dating apps and whatnot, and like the way that we kind of go about, as you said, like dating completely backwards. And I think also too, it's because that what you had just said about like, if the baseline like standard or like non-negotiable that you have is that you want someone who wants you, then you really, like you said, you really won't find yourself in a situationship. It's not to say that you won't find yourself in situations where you may really like someone, you may be really into someone, and they're just not feeling it like you're feeling it. Like, it's not saying that, okay, if you follow that rule, then you'll never find yourself, wanting to be with someone who doesn't want you. Right. But it's, you won't find yourself kind of existing in these situationships,
pining after people.
Right, exactly. And the purgatory, as we have stated as well, where you're kind of like half engaging in some sort of weird relationship for months on end with someone who doesn't want to commit to you. You'll if that is like the baseline standard, you will say, oh, they don't want me.
Let me go find someone that does.
Yeah. Right.
So immediately my question is always, why do people put themselves in those, or why do people stay in those situations? Right. Because how you put yourself in that situation is so...
Right. It starts out as just like dating. We're just getting to know each other.
No one's like going out into the world like, I'm looking for a situationship.
Right. Exactly.
And because it's so clear that most people would not exist with a person that doesn't want them, just like normally, like what is the factor that is keeping you there? Why do you want to be there?
Yeah.
Two theories I have. One I can go into later, which is they want to be there. They're not ready for an actual relationship, right? But the other thing is that situationships are mostly characterized by emotional intimacy.
Explain.
In the sense that while you're getting all this physical stuff, you can hook up with a lot of people and not be in a situationship, right? What's the difference between a person that you're hooking up with consistently and a situationship? It's the emotional attachment.
Yeah.
And that's why it doesn't make sense. That's why you're looking at this from a logical perspective, being like, girl, what?
Right.
Like, you just have to do X, Y, Z. And leave this dude. He doesn't want you.
This is me standing on my soapbox.
Right.
Like, no emotions attached to the situation at all. Right.
And I'm sure any other person that you're talking to will hear that and be like, yeah, you're right. Obviously, that's what I have to do. But why do you keep coming back? Why do you keep wanting this person? What is that feeling that you get when you get a text from him? It's like you get a text from a dude that you're dating. It's like, Sam texted me, cool. You get a text from that dude during a situationship, and like that little pit in your stomach. He just
your heart
texted
starts
me.
pounding.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, what do I say? What do I do?
It's the emotions of it.
Yeah.
It's the emotions of it that are completely opened up. Floodgates unguarded because of the physical way you guys started the interaction. So it doesn't follow the logical flow. It doesn't follow the understanding that you may have, that you like probably advise other people about yourself.